tough for me to leave politics, and I never broke stride, and I've never been unhappy to be out of politics. I have a lot of friends in Clark County, and I'm just as busy now out of politics as I was before that, and I'm having a good life. Now, all these stories tonight have been how I screwed somebody or nailed them, but I want to get on that one of Bob Mitchell. They went to 5 judges, and none of them would try me, which was, I thought, an honor. They didn't want me in front of them. So they went to an old boozer judge, a friend of mine, who I knew very well, and that was Dave Simpson. And when they got Dave Simpson, I knew I was home free. I had 8 or 10 lawyers telling me, don't be a dumb SOB and defend yourself. And we get a lawyer. So I got Bob, and we went up. We walked in there, and Bob was pretty accurate. I mean, Dave Simpson just loved it. He was sitting up in his, his elevated glory there, and he had a damn dictionary. I swear it must have been 50 pounds laying out in front of him, and he was whipping through it, saying, "Phone." And he couldn't find phone. And that's what he said. I can't believe it was being derogatory, And the guy that arrested me was a hell of a nice guy. His name was Sardellis. And I had another Greek friend who owns 100 acres on the other side of Kendall's Road named Soteropoulos. And he wrote me a letter saying he heard I was picking on another Greek, but he didn't want to say that give me some inside information. He said, Sardellis means smelly fish. And Bob never used that particular thing to help me out. But after Simpson had gone through a bunch of pages, he said, "It's not in the dictionary, not guilty." And Bob was an expensive sucker to defend you on a quick run. But I'm glad I got out of it, I'll put it that way. But I do want to say that Pete was on top of most of these jokes you've heard. But I want to give you one where Pete wasn't on top, and it'll bring a laugh. And maybe we can cut the evening on this joke. A friend of mine had traveled far and wide. He was in India, and he tried to put the screws to me, and he spent some money with a crooked Indian, and he pocketed the money, and he couldn't put the screws to me that year. But the next year he came back, and he brought the jack out, and he spent $200 or $300. And there's just thousands of newspapers in India. I mean, every little podunk stop has a newspaper or two. So he spends $200 or $300, which is like a fortune in this, in this country it costs you God knows what to get that kind of coverage. And he put in the newspaper over there, a bunch of newspapers, landed wealth gentleman living in Virginia with 4 beautiful daughters looking for a husband. The goddamn that damn thing must have gotten through a third of India, because I was working on the farm one day, and Liz comes in, and she's berserk. She's got about 6 or 8 trays of airmail letters, but you get about 200 letters per bloody tray. Well, over a period of about, a month, we must have gotten 5,000 or 6,000 letters. I opened up, maybe 100 of them, okay? And they all had the same thing. An Indian gentleman there who had been to Harvard or MIT. He was an engineer and told me what his degrees were and what he would do for my daughters and so forth. And the letters kept coming in. And I just wanted to tell you, I thought that was a great joke. And I want to give my good friend, John Staley and Elizabeth Locke, credit for that ticker. Follow up on George Orstrom, my friend George Orstrom. He came out with something that I think, after I put the screw to him on that perfume love card, he put something out and had him pasted over Clark County and said, "Doe Dunning Clark." And my daughters were out racing and pulling these things off as fast as they could, but I thought that was quite amusing also. I want to say that the food tonight was wonderful. I want to thank the people that put this party on. I'm a little cautious to say who didn't and who didn't, but I know that Mike was involved, Robina and John, and I bought those sticky shrimp in here, but I think it was wonderful. The food was great, and it's a great bunch of Clark County people, and we've even allowed some people like Gordon Keys and others to come in and enjoy life, but we want them to go the hell back where they came from. And thank you all. I've enjoyed working for you, and I'm going to play a little tennis and have a little fun, and I'll see you on the road.